Hi, welcome back to my Man vs. Minecraft Season 2 finale bonus behind the scenes video. So I've got all of my video footage here recorded in Fraps. This is me playing the game, making the episode, pretending to be Survivor Man. And as you can see, there are multiple AVI files. Those are video files. It contains the video and the audio. And as I play the game, I record my voice, obviously. There's no scripting. I just do it all pretty much improv. I've got all these clips here that need to be basically brought together and edited, and I have to handle the transitions and add music and all that fun stuff. Now to do that, I use a program called Adobe Premiere Elements, and this is it right here. And essentially, at this point, what I have to do is bring all of the video clips into this program and then put them here on the timeline. This is where you add all the clips together, you append them together. And then you can add music, background music, a soundtrack, sound effects, titles, and so forth. So that's the next step. And as you can see here, I already have a clip in here. This is my intro. So this project is already created. This is my Man vs. Minecraft template, and it has my intro video, which is a self-contained video already that I've created in Adobe. And over here we have the exit, the outro, which is the credits and a little bit of music. So now the next step will be to grab those video files, and I've got them right here, S2 finale clips. Again, these are all recorded in Fraps. And now I'm going to dump them in, and I'm only going to do a few at a time because it takes a while. I'm going to grab those 3. Now it's adding the media to my library within Adobe. And down here you see where it's actually generating a peak file. That's the audio. And depending on the size of those video files, and they get enormous, that can take some time. Yeah, each one of these is about maybe 1 gigabyte per minute of recorded footage. So that's Fraps in full size at 1280 by 720 HD. Alright, so now what I need to do is take these clips, and this is actually, where is it? Right here. Okay, MVM, and I name these when they get output by Fraps. So now I just drag and drop it here onto the timeline, and that pushes the outro out, which is exactly what I want. And now here's the transition. It plays the intro, and then it goes right into the clip. As you can see, I can move this little timeline and watch the whole thing. This will actually play audio, but I shut that part off because it can be kind of annoying and laggy. So now I need to remember where I left off in the end of day. See, this recording right here was the end of day 13 and the beginning of day 14. That's the name I gave it, so I would remember. Now I have to remember just where I left off in on day 13, which was somewhere right around the middle. It was right around here. And then I'm going to cut that clip right out. And this is where we're going to start. I'm going to fade in, and this is where day 14, the finale, begins. And then I'll start dumping in these other clips and start appending at the end. So let me go find out where I started, where I ended off on day 13. I think it was right around here somewhere, and I will be right back. Alright, so here's the MVM S2 Day 13 Fateful Dream MP4 video that I had uploaded to YouTube. And that's where it ended. So I'm just trying to figure out the end. It's right about here, 22, 21. I'm looking over the tree. I see the zombie. They can't climb trees. Wow. Zombie and the wolf down there. I go back into the tree fort. I'm looking out over the top of the dog. Come on, son. Come on, son. Hurry. Hurry. All right, so that's the last thing I said, and then it ends. The episode ends. That's the cliffhanger. So now I can go back. Let me close that down. And that was right about here, I think. So now I'm back at looking at the timeline in Adobe. Come on, son. I'm going to play it. So that's it right there. So normally what I do is I will go back and just cut somewhere before. I will include that in some cases. Come on, son. Hurry. Right there. So I'm going to include that so that we kind of know where we are. And now I cut with this clip tool, split. That cuts that clip in half, and then I just delete this one. And I'm just going to hit the delete key. Alright, so now it's going to fade in. Here's the intro. Come on, son. Hurry. And I'll usually have this fade in, so I right click, fade in audio and video. So it's going to have kind of a nice smooth transition between the two clips. Come on, son. Hurry. Okay, so that's where day 13 ended. And now day 14 begins. Dear Lord. So that's perfect. So now I'm going to go up here and save. Sometimes I give it a new name because Adobe will crash occasionally and you lose this project file. So I just go finale 14 finale 02. So if I have to fall back to 01, I can. All right, now let's add a new clip. Now this here is helpful because you can zoom these clips like so. Zoom in and zoom out so I can see the whole clip if I want to. Sometimes you want to get into the audio and you want to see more, so you want to zoom zoom in rather, and zoom out if you want to see the whole clip. All right, so now we're going to grab, and as you can see the naming scheme I use here, MVM S2 day 1402. So that's clip 2. I'm going to dump that right here in the timeline. Once again, it pushes that file out, that clip there out. Now the reason there are multiple files with Fraps is because it gets to about 4 gigabytes and then it stops and it creates a whole new file. That's a Windows thing. And that's how Fraps handles these big video files. So it makes multiple files instead of one gigantic file. So now let's make sure this transition works okay. This is the two clips here. All right. Let's see. Here. All right. Gotta make this. That seems good. Now let's zoom back out. So now I've got those two clips in there. Let's add this one. This is a short one. Now, there you go. Good. Hold on, let's see. Just bring a couple more pieces. Adobe doesn't always play very well, especially when you zoomed way out like that. So let's zoom in. Just bring a couple more pieces. For some reason, my timeline thing is not moving, but as you play, they should go forward and show you where you are. Now, every now and then, I'll just make sure that I'm on the right clip because sometimes I name them wrong pieces. That's fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the clips, drop them in here, and some of these clips are going to will require some editing, particularly with the finale. And the reason being is I had to change between Minecraft versions a lot. This initial part right here, before I got in the plane and flew, was all version 1.66, so it's really old. And I never updated because of Mo Creatures and the Planes mod. And I didn't want to screw it up, and I didn't want to get the hunger bar that was introduced in 1.8. So I haven't been updating Minecraft for a long time in this particular folder. I keep all my folders separate, so Man vs. Minecraft has a separate Minecraft folder. But for the transition, I wanted to get some of the new stuff in, obviously the Nether Fortress and the Hunger Bar and so forth. So I had to jump forward to the new Minecraft version, and in doing so, I had to stop, save the file, and then add all that in, and then start over again. And there's some transitions there that may not look perfect, but that's the reason for it. It'll just have to do. All right, so here we are now. It's 03 to 04. For example, that one right there. I'm not going to record the repair because I'm down to my last memory card in my camera, and this is going to take a while. I need to. All right, this transition was not really very good. All right, let's do it. Okay, I'm not going to record. That was several days between those two clips, and you can tell I have a new mic actually right there, and it sounds like a new mic. It sounds a lot clearer actually. So there are some little things here and there, but once I get the background music in and so forth, it's not going to make much difference. All right, let's. I'm going to go ahead and add a few more of these clips, and then we'll put in some background music, and I'll show you how that works. Hang on. All right, just wanted to show you one of the transitions I was just talking about. As you can see here, this clip, which was recorded with the plane being a one-seater, I had to go and build a two-seater here for Wilson, because originally the plane is a one-seater, as you can see here. So this is where I say, okay, I'm going to repair this plane, and we're going to see if I can fashion a second seat for Wilson, blah, blah, blah. And then I stop recording. I offline, obviously off camera, I build a whole new plane with a two-seater, the two-seater biplane, and then I start recording again. I try to position myself exactly where I was before, and then I start recording. All right, job is complete. There, it took a lot longer. Now this episode, the season 2 finale, requires all this shuffling around between versions and crafting. The first 13 days don't require any of this stuff. Although, well, the first day does. There's some transitioning there too. The season premieres and the season finales are really the ones that take all this extra work. There's a lot of work involved in editing each individual episode too, just by adding music and so forth. But not so much as this does, because I had to craft all that new stuff. Most of it, though, 90% of Man vs. Minecraft is all improv. It just hit the record button, start to play, and what happens happens. This really is a special case, though. This is only usually done at the in the premieres and in the finale. As you can see, the deer disappear there too. So there's a slight little goof up, and that was where I had to switch between a couple of different versions of something I forget. But anyway, let's go ahead and add some music now. Let's find a section where there's a little combat, and I know there was some right here. Just want to clear this tree. Yeah, see, there was a little bit of a pause here as well. Because a lot of times what happens in these transitions between all the versions, I end up saving the world map a lot, because I make progress and I save the map, and if something goes wrong, if something doesn't work right, the dog in particular gets bugged a lot with the planes, so I have to go back to a previous recording or previous map. So I do sometimes save it just in the event something goes bad. And many times it does. Just clear this tree. So there's a little bit of a you can see here is just a little bit of a glitch where I wasn't quite looking where I was when I ended. So yeah, that's detectable, but hopefully people won't care too much. Tree and then we'll be gone. But what is that? Because right now I get into combat. Stay right there. All right, now it starts to heat up. So let's say I'm going to add some music here. Okay, so things are heating up now. Here comes some combat. Normally what I do in this instance is I'll find a good audio clip, something fast-paced, something that will get the juices flowing, get people on the edge of their seat. And I've got a whole bunch to choose from. And I try not to use the same clips in 2 consecutive episodes. So I try to mix it up a little bit. Let's see what's a good one. A lot of these I do remember by heart, but Hero in Peril is one that you might be used to. You may be familiar with from season 1. I used a lot. Let's see. Ow. Okay, some of these are really loud, so I right-click, Show Properties, and I drop it down, usually about -15, -20. Let's see how that sounds. And this little yellow line right here in the audio section actually determines the audio volume. And I typically will raise my voice volume 2 or 3 decibels to about 2.33 decibels here, so I'm not drowned out by the music. Come on. That's still pretty loud. Okay. Thank you, skeleton. shooting a creeper. All right. So there you go. So obviously music makes a big difference. So let's go back here a little bit. I'll probably back this music up a little bit. As it ends, let's see, if I start it right about when I get attacked, right here, I just slide it over. It's still a little bit too loud too. I might drop this down to negative 20. I want to blow anybody's eardrums. Let's try that.
What is that?
Nope, that timing wasn't quite right. I want to get it right when he attacks. Just right about there. Let's see. This tree, and then we'll be gone.
But what is that?
Stay right there. No, come on. I got him, Wilson. Okay. Sometimes sometimes the timing on these on the audio clips really works out well. I guess it's just luck, but that was perfect ending. Right when the creeper blew up, the music stopped. So that's how you add in the soundtrack music. Now you can have a complete background playing and you know, a long clip playing for several video clips if you want. You can stretch them out or just keep duplicating them, which I do in some cases. All right, so that's pretty much that. That's how I get the audio in. I'm going to raise my volume here a little bit more. I might even go up to 3.29 decibels. Just requires a little bit of trial and error to see what works and what doesn't. And this is one of the reasons why I don't put out a lot more Man vs. Minecraft, or at least faster anyway, because it does require quite a bit of editing. You know, unlike some of the LPs, you just record, you upload, and you're done with it. There's no transitioning, there's no editing. You just upload and move on. That's not the case with Man vs. Minecraft. All right, so now I have to just go back and add all the rest of the clips. This is only 06. Let me show you how many more clips we have. 7 through 18. There's a lot more clips. So I'm just going to go ahead and add them all. And the peak file is going to take a little while, so I'm going to cut this video. And then as I get closer to a finished product, I'll pop back in and we'll take a look at a few more things within Adobe. So hang on, I'll be right back. Alright, I've got several more clips added in, and so far all of the transitions between the clips have been smooth and contiguous. So basically the recording just keeps going, it's me in motion, but in some cases, and let me show you right here, there's a break and you have to start over. Now this usually only happens in the transitions of the season finales and premieres, so I haven't done a whole lot of these with Man vs. Minecraft because this means I'm shutting off the camera for some reason and turning it back on. That doesn't happen too often in Man vs. Minecraft because everybody wants to see everything. So here's what I do. So as you can see right here, Wilson and I took off. We're in the plane. We're free. We're flying. Woohoo! Yay! Made it. And then the next clip goes into flying above the town that we find, and we're going to have to go land. So that's supposed to be several hours later, and all that flying happened while the camera's off. So I need to put in a transition here. And the way I do it with Man vs. Minecraft is I have to simulate, okay, I've got a camera on my head, right? So all I'm doing is clicking it off. There's no transitions. I don't want to have fancy transitions because this is all supposed to be happening like live, real time, and you guys are watching it, you know, so that's kind of the fun. Let's take a look. See how it switches so quickly like that? That looks terrible. So what we want to do is we want to just fade out. So I right click this clip here. You can see the highlighted clip. This one here, I want to right click and choose fade out. And I just want to fade out the video, not the audio. Off for now. Just flick. And I'm just testing now. I might actually fade the other one in. Let's see. I'd like to have the engine stop. So I would like to have the audio fade out as well. So let's have the audio fade out too. So I'm going to fade out audio and the video. As you can see here, it puts these little points on the clip, and this is where you can adjust the volume. It automatically adds a descending volume kind of gradually, and then it's off completely. So let me try this one. Off for now. Yeah, that's much better. So that way it doesn't sound like I'm still in the plane flying. It definitely gives you the impression that the camera was shut off and then turned back on, because you want some kind of a time lapse there. And I could actually put in a black video in here, just a pause, like a 3-second, just fade out to black completely. Off for now. But I don't think I'm going to need that there. All right, so let's move on. So I'm going to add more music here. Obviously, you want dramatic music, or and probably when I'm flying, escaping here, I'll have some drama. A little bit of dramatic music, like woohoo, we made it. And now I've got to go through, and there's going to be another transition. I think I shut off the camera at another part too, I forget. But what I'm going to do is add the rest of these clips to the timeline. And then if there's anything else to share, I'll be back. I'll probably show you guys how I edit the music titles or something. Okay, this is the actual outro. Oh, you know what? There's one thing I'm going to add shortly, and that is a sound effect pulled right out of Minecraft. It's not music. It's not a music clip. It's actually a sound of something. And it's going to be a ghast sound, I think. I haven't decided yet. But all right, let me cut off right here, and we'll be right back. All right, just wanted to show you one of the transitions that I talked about earlier when I had some problems getting Wilson working with the two-seater plane in the new version. This is right here at 1.8.1, and every time I added Wilson, anytime I tamed a dog and hopped in the plane, it was all bugged. He was either in the front seat with me, or he was kind of flashing all over the place. So that was not something I wanted in the video. So I had to eliminate Wilson for this clip right here, flying and then landing and jumping out. And here's the transition between the two clips. You can see, and you can just barely detect a little bit of a change. There's about 10-second delay, or 10-second difference between this clip and that clip. When I swung around, actually I had to spawn Wilson in first using single player command, so I typed it out really fast. Spawn Wolf. I fed him a couple of bones, made him mine, and then I turned back around, looking the same direction I thought I was looking when I landed. Watch, see if you can detect it. Okay. Yep, right there. See it? Barely perceptible. Okay. Oh, just right there. If you look at the clouds, you can tell about 10 seconds pass. But that was the best I could do because Wilson was bugged, and there he is. And then I continue running over here. Come on, Wilson, let's go. And it's like he was always there in the plane. That's why I never turned around in the plane. All right, so let's get back to it. I'm going to jump down to where I'm underground. I want to put in some scary background music. And I'll show you the difference between having background music and not having background music, and what a profound difference it makes when you're watching the video. Hang on. All right, here's a good spot for some scary music in the background. I am in the hatch. I'm in the false bottom under the well here. I fell down. Remember, oh, gee, what am I doing down here? Dum-dum, I slipped on the moss. So I'm right about here, and there's a transition because I had to change versions again. As you can see, I'm beta 1.8.1 because I needed the plane mod to fly in. And then I switch right here. Boom. That's gone because now I'm on 1.9 pre-release 4, so that I can get some of the cool items from for the nether. So when I open up the chest later on, it's got like a potion in there and some items that were not included in 1.8. So that's the transition there, and it's barely perceptible. Oh, and you can see the level 1 pop up here too, which is something new. And that's new with 1.9. So yeah, not much I could do about that, but that's how that works. Anyway, All right, let's add some creepy music. So what I'm going to do is I've got some music here on my computer. I've got a resource bin, music tracks, McLeod, and this is all free music. You can download it and use it in your projects as long as you give them credit. And I do that in the credits of the video as well as the description of the video. And I want something foreboding, something really creepy. And McLeod does a really good job with this stuff. So let's, anxiety is a good one. So I typically will come in here and I'll listen. And I'll try to find a good fit for the current scene. Okay, so now I'm, thinking I'm climbing down the ladder. Really creepy place. I'm in a cave. I see this ancient ruin. This playing in the background. I like that. Let's try. I remember the hive is pretty good. Not so much. I want something kind of subdued. So I'm thinking anxiety. I'll put it on lightly. Nice and subdued. Let's try anxiety. So let's go back to program here. I have anxiety in here already. I'm going to remove. Just want to show. Wait a minute. Show all audio clips. Where did it go? Okay, that was weird, but these are the little things that happen usually when I'm editing and making videos. There's a lot of bugs. There's bugs in the recording program, there's bugs in the editing program, there's bugs in Windows, and nothing ever seems to go as smoothly as you hope. Alright, let's find McLeod. I know he's in here. McLeod Horror, the Hive Anxiety. So I drag and drop that down to the soundtrack. Now, I'm probably not going to leave it here. I'm not sure where I'm going to start it. That usually takes a little bit of thought and some trial and error. But let's try it right here at the start. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so as not to blow your eardrums. And I want it kind of soft and subdued in the back, just enough. Let's give it a try now. Here we go. I'll probably have it start right after I say here we go as I start to climb. Here we go. Maybe even as I turn and look. Not on the ladder, but the second I go here. I think that sounds good. Here we go. Or maybe even when I turn and look at this creepy place right here with all this cobwebs. The cobwebs. Here we go. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Now I do start talking, so maybe I will put it here. I don't want it to go at the same time as I'm talking. All right, wait a minute. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Great. Another ladder, and it's going down. I don't want to go down. I want to go up. What the heck is that? Ooh, there's another torch down there. This place looks really old. What the heck is this? Okay, I think I'm going to have it start back here a little bit more. Before I start to talk, I want it to turn on right about there. That's fine. Here we go. Whoa. Perfect. Whoa. Perfect. That was good. Just, you want to try to find a transition that feels natural and organic, and I think when I stepped forward, that was a good spot. Try it again. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. I like that. Okay. All right, so that's the creepy music, and now we're going to fast forward, and I want to get down, and I'm going to show you guys how to put in a sound effect. Now, I would normally test all this and see where it ends and how it sounds, and if I need to add more, I'll drop that same clip and start it over again. Because I haven't gotten inside the portal room yet. And I might change the music there, might make it a little more fast-paced. I don't know until I play around. So there's a lot of trial and error with the different various types of music, but I do know I want to add a sound effect of that ghast screeching. So let me go get that ready, and I'll be right back.